Seidio Obex waterproof case, and it comes with a holster. It's a very exciting case. Seidio just released it, and it's going to be one of those awesome new revolutionary cases. We've heard of LifeProof and a few other companies that have waterproof cases. Seidio jumped on board and got this one going. They have it for the Galaxy S3, and now they have it for the iPhone 5. And for this demonstration, we'll be using the iPhone 5 model. And just going to kind of take a look around the case before we get started. This is the case itself, and as I said, it comes with a holster. We'll just kind of take a look at the holster real quick. It's got a neat little design on the inside here. And as you just kind of take a look around, and when you feel this kind of holster, it's very durable. It's a very hard plastic. It's going to add a lot of extra protection even when you have the phone and case inside the holster. What's nice about it is it's going to help protect against nicks and bumps against like a desk or something like that. But you also have a really nice like spring action clip at the top that's going to help keep the phone fastened. You also have a nice belt clip here. It's a nice sturdy press, and you also can rotate it in different directions. It's a really nice holster, so definitely you're going to want to get the one that comes with the holster. You have the option of getting one without, but it's always nice to have that option. Now here's the case itself. It's really lightweight, which is a good feel to it. And it's going to have some protective film on the front and the camera areas, and you're going to want to read this label, and it's going to tell you how to open the case, give you different points and tips of how to do it. The next piece that you're going to see is the instruction manual, and you definitely want to read this all the way through. Make sure that you understand everything about this case, how to install it, the preparation that's involved before you just slap the case. And you get a little QR code here in the back if you want to scan that. Give you some more information about the Obex. So let's take a look on the inside. It's going to give you, as I said, an overview, disclaimers, the contents, features, and the exact build of the phone, and before you install it, what you need to do. You're going to need to try to inspect it, make sure that you got everything on right. It's going to show you how to remove it. You got frequently asked questions, your warranty, legal information, and customer support. So definitely read all the way through this. I've read it through it already. And the next step would be to prepare it. And before you do the actual installation, you're going to actually do a waterproof test. So basically you're going to take the case and submerge it in water before you install it on your phone. You always want to make sure that it's not defective, because you don't want a defective case to get water inside of the case and ruin the phone. This part of the review, we're going to do the inspection and the water test. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to take off all the tabs. You're going to want to inspect the case to make sure that there's nothing sticking out, that all the creases are put together just right. Alright, so I got my bowl of water here, and you're going to want to, again, just make sure that you inspect it, make sure that there's no gaps or anything like that, everything's snapped together correctly. And I'm going to do a test with the insert. So here goes the waterproof test with the insert. Now obviously this is going to float, so you're going to want to get something that'll kind of hold it down. And it says to let it sit there for 5 minutes, so I'm going to give it 5 minutes and I'll be right back. Alright, it's been over 5 minutes now, so we're going to take a look and see how the case held up. Alright, the next step I'm going to take is to take this apart and take out the insert. And what you're going to want to do is to open this hatch. And again, make sure there's no water or moisture that could get inside. And you're just going to take a coin and find the little slot on the bottom right hand side. And just begin to peel it apart. It says stop. Please read through the manual and conduct a waterproof test before using this product. Remember to install your device into the front half of the case, starting with the volume button side, and press down for a secure fit. Failure to read all instructions and take proper carrying procedures may cause damage to the case or device. Alright, so I'm going to place the insert off to the side, and it is dry. I don't see any kind of moisture at all. So it passes that test straight from the factory. You're going to want to take a look inside. Make sure there's nothing there. And you're going to want to make sure that there's no dust or anything like that that gets in here between the installation and so forth. Alright, so to prepare to put it back in, and this part fell out, so you're going to want to put it back on. And before installation, if you're like me, I like to have screen protectors and backs. You're going to want to remove those. So hopefully you didn't go out and buy a really expensive one. You just have kind of a cheap eBay special. Okay, I got my screen protector off. One of the benefits of having a screen protector on though is that you shouldn't have any kind of dust or fingerprints on it, so it should be fresh to go. But just make sure that you have no dust or any kind of thing that could get in the way. And the way that you're going to install this is that you're going to place the device into the front half of the case with the screen facing the clear screen guard. For the best result, place the volume button side into the case first and then gently push it in. And you're going to want to double check to make sure the O-ring encircling the front half is properly positioned. Next step you're going to want to do is to make sure that the O-ring is in place. Alright, the next step you're going to take the bottom half and firmly snap it together with the front half. There should be no gaps among the seam of the two halves. Definitely make sure that you have all the ports flush and pressed in. Make sure that they're not lifted up at all. The front tab here, you're going to want to make sure that when you close it, you get a nice good snap. Make sure that the headphone port is nice and pressed in. You always just want to make sure before you go any further. Alright, so the moment of truth is about to come up. I'm going to get the water bowl and we're going to dunk this baby in. Alright, so now we're ready for the fun part, the dunk test, the water test. Make sure that this case works good after doing the water test with the insert and then taking it apart and then installing the iPhone inside of it. Alright, here we go. And I'm going to turn on the camera. Do some video action. Alright, there we go. And let's get a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, I'm nervous, 1. That's kind of nerve-wracking, I ain't gonna lie. Everything seems to be working. And I'm going to let it sit for that 5 minutes to make sure that it's working alright. Alright, looks like 5 minutes has pretty much passed. I want to do a little test to see. I didn't press record before because I wanted to test and see if you could press the touchscreen to start it. It doesn't look like you can, so just like the other waterproof cases, you're going to have to use your volume rocker in order to start. Alright, so once you get the iPhone out, you're going to want to get yourself a towel. Power button's working. Touch screen is working. Swipe. Let's do a little test text. Seems like it's working good there too. Alright, so it doesn't seem like any water got in here to affect the functionality. Next up, we'll take it apart and see if there's any water inside. Alright, so we got the whole phone dried off on the outside. We're going to take it apart and see if any water leaked in on the inside. The way that you're going to take it apart is you're going to open up this flap. You're going to want to inspect and make sure that there's no moisture. There's going to be a little bit to start out with, but that's not the waterproof part. So just make sure you get it nice and dry. Get your quarter and just begin to pry it open like you did before. Alright, so let's take a look at the back plate first. Not really seeing anything. Oop. Got a little bit of bubble right here, but that's where the O-ring sits. So you're still good. The important part is that you're not going to want to see any kind of moisture right around where it's dry at. The O-ring area, you're going to get a little bit because that's where the water comes in contact. And you're going to be able to kind of see that right along here. And so far so good. Alright, just taking a look around the iPhone. It is completely dry. There's no moisture at all. So definitely passed the test. The next part you're going to want to take a look at is the inside where the screen comes in contact. And again, it's looking dry. I'm not seeing any kind of moisture at all. So it's really cool. So far I'm impressed.